Hello, family. Welcome to another episode of the Good News Network. Reporting from Miami, Florida, I'm Luke Speckman.
And I'm Brandon Speckman.
And today we have an exciting episode in store with good news from the month of September, streaming from all 8 of our geographic world sectors in the Sold Out movement.
Today we'll begin with a review of our recently planted mission teams and update you on their spectacular inaugural services.
Following that comes a special announcement on our upcoming foreign missions conferences. And stay tuned, as later we'll have a day in the life of our dear sister Salma in the Chennai Church, a mercy moment, and to close, good news from around the world.
And so beginning in our recently planted Raleigh, North Carolina church, the Raleigh disciples hosted their inaugural service Sunday, September 22nd. This zealous church planted in the Africanus World sector has already been fruitful, and their small mission team had a total of 104 in attendance at their inaugural worship service. Ashton Hughes preached a convicting sermon entitled The Real Bible Belt, and his radiant wife Cara delivered a tearful communion of what the cross means to her.
And just one state below, the Columbia, South Carolina Church had their inaugural service with 57 in attendance. They've also already begun to multiply with 7 baptisms since their arrival. Congratulations to JP and Michaela Thrasher, as well as to the dedicated disciples of the Columbia mission team.
Now over in Alabama, our Tuscaloosa mission team of 8 had their inaugural service, and the Lord brought in an inspiring attendance of 46. Alex and Melanie Ngunjo did a phenomenal job putting everything together, and all the guests were impacted and eager to return for future Sundays. A light truly has dawned in this incredible city.
And in the Anchorage, Alaska Church, their inaugural service was one to remember. Under the faith-filled leadership of the Shrams, this new planting saw 3 souls added to their number, and the moving restoration of Sam and Chris Phillips, a remnant couple who were originally baptized in the Anchorage ICOC many years ago. Since falling away, they felt they had nowhere else to go, but that has all changed since the team landed. What a joy to see the eternal impact this mission team has already made since setting foot in Anchorage at the end of July.
Likewise, the Starkville, Mississippi team had an incredible inaugural, with the 11 disciples welcoming in 5-for-1 visitors to their service and closing with a bang. They had 3 glorious baptisms. A huge congratulations to all of our newest plantings on all of your hard work produced by faith and love. We're so proud of you and eager to continue to report on how God blesses your sacrifice to go anywhere, do anything, and give up everything for Him.
And now for a special announcement.
Family, very excitingly, we're speedily approaching not 1 but 3 foreign missions conferences before the end of the year. First, in Barcelona, Spain, on October 30th to the 31st, we have the AMS and Singles Conference. Following that, the European Missions Conference, also in Spain, and entitled Always Triumphant, from November 1st to the 3rd, which is sure to be the highlight of the year for all who go. This is also where Europe will be sending out the Curacao, Barcelona, and Lisbon mission teams. The following month, in Oslo, China, we will have our conference entitled The Lord of the Fellowship here in Auckland, New Zealand from November 7th to the 10th. And to close out the year will be the Promised Land World Sector, which will host the Middle East Missions Conference in none other than Dubai, UAE in December 12th to the 15th. For more information on how to register, please speak with your church leader.
And now for a day in the life of Salma, our sister in the Chennai India Church.
My name is Syed Umme Salma Banu. I'm from south part of India. I became a disciple in the year of 2017. I used to be a professional cricketer. I'm an ex-cricketer, and I gave up because I want to serve God. I work for church, and right now, me and John, my husband, we are serving in campus ministry. We got married in 2018, and we have a Jerry who is born in 2021. Me getting converted as a Muslim, I have to call up my parents and say that I'm gonna become a disciple, I'm going to get baptized. And it was a big problem in my house, and my second sister screaming at me and saying like, I'm coming to kill you. I was like, that's okay, you can come, but I want to do what is right. Even my dad went to masjid, and he even informed to the priest in the masjid, like, I have only 2 daughters, my 3rd daughter is dead because she converted into a Christianity. For 5 years, they were not being in touch with me. Basically, my family didn't accept me. Even today, my whole relatives, my first sister, no one speaks to me. It is painful because I come from a family where I've been loved so much. But I just trusted God, how in Mark 3, it says how Jesus treated the spiritual family above physical family. That's only thing. And then where I saw in Acts chapter 1, where Jesus' mother and brothers are the part of the family. That's only the thing which gave me a hope to keep going and do what is right. And my dad actually came to Bangalore for one of the disciples' wedding in 2019. He just came, saw the wedding, and he was like, wow, my daughter is in a right place. And my sister came and lived with us for 4 months. So she saw our marriage, and she saw how much my husband loves me, how much he understands me, what is our marriage is. So she basically loves kingdom now. So I'm sure our love for her can change her to become a disciple. That's my prayers. When I went on a mission team, I have learned a lot. I learned like how much people needed God in their life. Because I was a central government employee back in Chennai, I have to give up my job. So that was a big challenge for me. I had a pressure from my mom, who was a cancer patient, she was already on the deathbed, where she was been begging me like, I'm gonna catch your legs, please don't leave this job. My mom is just my best friend. So that's where even when I became a disciple, I could able to tell my mom very openly that I'm going to get baptized. No one spoke to me in the house. When I got married, no one spoke to me in the house. She loved my husband a lot. She used to call us secretly, and then she calls and she deletes the call log. Because there was a persecution from my sister, there was a persecution from my dad, like their dad wanted me to speak and all. She always wanted us to visit home, but we couldn't. When I was 1 year disciple, I lost her. I just want to say that I know being a disciple is not easy. I do go up and down as a disciple, but one thing I know that God is in control of every situations of our life. So never give up in loving God and just seeking Him with all your heart.
Salma and her husband John are truly doing an amazing job in the Chennai campus ministry. And just recently, they led their ministry into setting up over 300 Bible studies in 3 weeks' time. So amazing.
Thank you so much for your inspiring example and sharing a day in your life with us, Salma.
And now we'll have a mercy moment. And following that, good news from around the world.
Devastating flash flooding on the Havasupai Creek at the Grand Canyon.
150 families on the Havasupai Reservation have been displaced.
12 homes were severely damaged, trapping hikers and killing a woman who was swept away by floodwaters.
And now the community is coming together to help the Havasu tribe. Mercy Worldwide Arizona.
The nonprofit Mercy Worldwide.
But Mercy Worldwide helped gather and move more than 250 items like household items, livestock feed, tools, and food.
As Mercy, our goal is to have compassion in action.
Organization leaders say they're collecting donations at the Arizona Career Development Center as well as a church here in Phoenix.
Today, the tribe received a shipment of essentials from volunteers across Arizona.
Those families getting a helping hand this weekend from some in our community. Today, volunteers brought clothing, bedding, tools, and cleaning supplies.
We want to make sure that they're cared for. As a Mercy organization, it's something that's important to us every single day.
There's a need. Let's answer the call.
I'm so grateful for all that Mercy does around the world, truly showing compassion in action.
Mercy Worldwide is currently holding a disaster relief fundraiser for those affected by recent hurricanes in the southeast United States. To donate, please go to mercyworldwide.org/relief.
Now, it's time for good news from around the world.
Starting in the London church, their very own Sold Out Collective has continued to make an impact since the release of their first album and has gained national recognition. Britain's Got Talent and ITV News both recently reached out to them requesting their presence to perform. Truly, their skill and work has allowed them to stand before kings.
Other news in our European world sector, in Portugal, mission team leaders Lucas and Ana Tria have finally touched down and secured an amazing flat in central Lisbon, right by their target campus. God is setting the stage for something huge, and with this move, the Sold Out movement is now ushered into yet another country.
And now for some Mercy good news. In the Northern Federation World Sector, the Tbilisi, Georgia Church currently operates a Mercy program which supports a school for disabled children. Last fall, the members were hard at work each Saturday to renovate the second floor of the school in order to double the size of their classroom space. And this past September, some Mercy workers were able to return to the school to celebrate some of the students' birthdays. They handed out gifts, danced, and sang with them, and many of the students remembered them and were so grateful for their love and encouragement.
Wow, how sweet. And news from the Promised Land World sector. In Boston, we have the story of Christine, a freshman in college who was baptized over 1 month ago. And God continued to pour out blessings on her life as her siblings, who came to support her baptism, both started studying the Bible. 1 month later, her older brother and sister, Stanley and Melissa, became her younger brother and sister in Christ as they were joyfully baptized. Welcome to the kingdom, Christine, Stanley, and Melissa.
And speaking of family miracles, here in the Miami church this past month, our precious daughter Landon made Jesus the Lord of her life and was baptized into Christ as well.
God is always hearing the prayers of the saints for their families. This truly is evident in so many testimonies. And another to share is the story of our recently restored brother Ryan of the Manila Church. During his restoration sharing at their Sunday service, Ryan declared his dream to see his family together at church one day. Without delay, God worked to make Ryan's dreams a reality, and his daughter Eunice was moved to do Bible studies. And exactly 1 week later, after hours of studying the Bible, Eunice was ready, declared Jesus as her Lord, and was baptized by her father into Christ. What a miracle. And please pray for their family as Ryan's son Oliver is also beginning to study the Bible.
Over in the Phoenix church comes good news of two friends, Caleb and Malachi. Caleb was first studying the Bible, and he invited his friend Malachi to church along the way. Later, Malachi began studying as well and was baptized. Caleb, who originally invited him, was also baptized shortly after, showing the power of godly friendships to encourage and spur one another along the way. And the joy continues as Malachi's mom, Heather, and brother Zaire were also baptized. Welcome to the family, Caleb, Malachi, Heather, and Zaire.
Now, in the Dallas-Fort Worth Church, the Spanish-speaking women's ministry hosted their very own Women's Day, and it was a success. These 9 bold women of God had 54 in attendance and closed out with the powerful baptism of Rosalinda. Way to go, Dallas sisters.
And in LA, 3 generations have recently been united in Christ with the baptism of Lois, the 75-year-old mom of disciple Victoria and grandmother of our sister Sheila. Lois is now full of gratitude for her salvation and eager to spend her time doing the work of the Lord. Very excitingly, the LA church has had a month of increasingly abundant fruit. It was a September to remember because starting off the first week of September, LA had 8 baptisms. The following week, the family grew by 16 more added to the kingdom. The next week, God ushered in 21 new brothers and sisters, and finally, there were 25 baptisms for 2 weeks in a row, with the LA church growing by 95 souls in 30 days. What an inspiration to all of us to see souls being added to their number daily, just like in the first century church.
So amazing. Now in San Francisco, the church has hit a milestone, officially surpassing 500 disciples in their membership. God is continuing to refine and further grow his church, and he is now doing even greater things than we've ever seen before. One final piece of news, and perhaps the crowning news of the month, is that we, as a movement, have officially reached, by the power and the blessing of God, 12,000 disciples worldwide.
It has been a joy to recount a few of the many miracles and answered prayers God delivered this past month, and all glory be to him as he builds his church. Thank you for joining us for this month's episode of the Good News Network. Please be sure to share with family and friends so they can see all the ways God uses ordinary people in extraordinary ways around the world. This is Luke and Brandon Speckman reporting to you from the Good News Network.
The best news you'll ever see.